Welcome, friends. My name is Silas Ollegario, and I'm the host of Think Onward, a podcast about books, studies, productivity, and lifestyle now, after the intro. Hello, people, and welcome to another episode of Think Onward. I'm so happy to have you all here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode, which is an episode that got in the middle of our more natural subject and topic, but it definitely fits into one of my favorite things to talk about. Today we'll be talking about football, just to make way for the deeper subject I have in mind. I'll be talking about the Super Bowl, Tom Brady, etc. All that to broadly exemplify what I mean. Originally, two of my friends were supposed to be part of today's episode, but we had some issues with our arrangements. But do not be discouraged. Stay with me till the end, and maybe you'll get to understand a little bit more about this amazing sport and the greatest legend it holds, and also get an idea regarding next week's episode. Let's get into it. First of all, I don't mean to explain about football because it might take some time and maybe it's better we do it in a different episode. I do have some explaining to do in terms of how the NFL is, how the National Football League is organized. And when I say organized, I'm referring to the conferences, divisions, and how the two best teams of the season get to the Super Bowl. The NFL is played by 32 teams. These teams are separated into two conferences, the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference. And each conference is split in 4 divisions, North, South, East, and West. Such divisions hold 4 teams, which are the actual rivals in the sport. As an example, let me use the NFC East and the AFC North, okay, until we get to the point today. The NFC East holds my favorite team, the one I cheer for no matter what, the New York Giants. It also holds the other 3 biggest rivals of the Giants, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, and Washington Football Team. These teams play each year twice against each other. And that's one of the reasons the rivalry is greater inside the same division. Okay, on my other example, I'll be using the AFC North, which holds the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and Cleveland Browns. Like I said before, inside of the division, teams play twice a year against one another. Every team in all divisions in both conferences have, by the end of the regular season, 16 weeks of games, and probably 17 weeks starting this next 2021 season. During these weeks, all teams have only 1 week off called the bye week. After all that, each division has a leader, a champion, if you will. These 8 teams go on to the playoffs, along with the other 3 teams of each conference who are called the wild card. They are the teams with best results, excluding the ones who won the divisions. Okay, each conference has their games until there are 2 teams to play the conference final. 2 on the NFC and also 2 on the AFC. The winners and champions of these matches continue their journey to play the greatest match of the year, the Super Bowl. Now that we all got that out of the way, let's talk about him. The great one, the one that is definitely the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a 43-year-old quarterback who keeps getting better and proving to everyone he's nearly unstoppable. For 20 years, he played for the New England Patriots, a team from AFC East. There, with the Pats, he won, along with Bill Belichick, the coach, 6 titles. That's right. They won 6 rings, 6 Super Bowls. That's simply impressive, okay? What happened was, 2 years ago, things started getting different in New England. For some reason, which we may never know for sure, Tom Brady wasn't happy with things. The media who loves speculating about everything started with rumors that Tom Brady was leaving and maybe retiring. They were not all wrong. He did leave the Patriots, but he did not retire. During his entire career in New England, Tom Brady was celebrated but also criticized by many. People who claim the only reason he won so many titles was because of Bill Belichick and the amazing defense the Patriots always had. In some ways, we can agree with that because football is a sport won and lost by the entire team. However, it is one of the team sports which we see a lot the difference an amazing player can make. The quarterback is specifically is the one who takes charge or doesn't, the one who makes things happen or not. He is this position is the real playmaker, you know. You might think that a quarterback who won 6 Super Bowls had nothing else to prove, but you'll be wrong. Tom Brady was for sure upset by these claims that he wasn't all that good without Belichick on the sidelines. We can say that he took all of these sayings very personal. And then the decision, the extremely scary and so feared by Patriots fans was made. Tom Brady decided to leave New England Patriots. Wow, I mean, okay, he's leaving but not retiring. Where is he going? The answer, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are a team from the NFC South who had won the Super Bowl back in 2002, the 2002 season. They returned to the playoffs in 2005 and 2007, but lost their first games in both occasions. The thing is that now Tom Brady is the quarterback who changed the negative temperatures of New England for the sun of Florida. He also moved away from a champion team to a team who had not showed any kind of enthusiasm on their fans for almost 20 years. That's crazy. I myself thought he was crazy, but we all seem to forget about the Tom Brady effect. He's such a winner, such a leader, such an amazing influence on their teammates that maybe he was exactly what Tampa needed. Just as he needed the Buccaneers to prove he wasn't just a piece on the chest set of Bill Belichick, you know. He wanted to prove he was the playmaker most people still believed he was. After arriving in Tampa and meeting a team and organization and teammates who were deeply impacted by the Tom Brady way of playing, leading, and acting on and off the field, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had in the number 12 the chance of repeating what was accomplished back in January 26th of 2003. But it was a long way to go. As I said before, they had 16 weeks ahead in a very strong opponent inside their own division. So let me go back in the story. Game 1, Week 1 of 2020. Tom Brady goes to New Orleans to face another gigantic quarterback, Drew Brees. Drew Brees is great passer, very smart and excellent leader. Drew Brees led the New Orleans Saints to a Super Bowl win in the 2009 season. Now they were officially divisional rivals. After some weeks of adjustments, some not so well played games by him or by the rest of the team, the Bucs went on to the playoffs, not as the division champions, but as a wild card team. The thing is, by now, nobody doubts of Tom Brady, and no one is expecting him to bust soon in the playoffs. Once a guy like Brady leads his team to the playoffs, it looks like it's just a matter of time before he can get to the Super Bowl again. Of course, when we look at the entire picture, we have to also look at the other side, the other team who plays the Super Bowl, the other side of the Super Bowl game. On the AFC West, there's a team, an amazing team with a very impressive offense and a more impressive quarterback, the Kansas City Chiefs. The defending champions were in a full throttle season. It seems that they haven't stopped after the 2019 season when they won. With an amazing record of only one loss, they were the defending champions and the favorite to a back-to-back title. However, in the 17 years I've been following football, I know it's not a lot, but considering I'm Brazilian and still living in Brazil, it's a long time. One of the things I've learned is to never, absolutely never bet against Brady. The guy's a legend when it comes to many things, including winning playoff games and going to Super Bowls. This was Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl. That's impressive on itself, but it was also his 7th win. So when we talk about the Brady effect, what it means is his capability to overcome not just the ones who do not believe he's able to do it again, but a team who's got a young, talented, and maybe even the best quarterback nowadays. Tom Brady showed the world that his hard work and work ethics, his training and lifestyle, his supporting family, and his ability to deal with basically any scenario football presents are still intact. He doesn't need Bill Belichick and the Pats' brilliant defense. In fact, this year was such a weird one for Pats fans that after almost 20 years in complete dominance, they lost their quarterback, and then the team loses its ability to even win the division. The 2020 New England Patriots have showed how amazing Tom Brady is and how the Brady effect is real. After last Sunday night, the world can finally stop with the nonsense that Brady was great only because of the team he was part of. Now everyone knows he's the one who makes the team great. And just a parenthesis, I wish that instead of going to the Bucs, he went to the Giants, but it's okay. I'm actually glad to be a witness of a great player. The ones who watched football in the 80s and 90s used to talk about Joe Montana and the 49ers. The ones who are still watching football today and those who have the privilege to follow this sport have the opportunity to be impressed every year by talented players, young players, but also to be amazed by the 43-year-old Tom Brady and the effect he causes in us by watching him win Super Bowls. Okay, now, but what can we learn from a guy like Tom Brady? I mean, being a quarterback is not part of the list of things I would do in life. But while watching legends of sports like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, I learned the power that the mindset has. Talent is important, but talent is not enough. Actually, there's a book from John Maxwell with this title, Talent is Never Enough. I watched a video on YouTube. It's the entire story of Tom Brady and his journey from high school to college and then the draft to the NFL. This video makes very clear the difficulty he faced for not having the qualities most teams wanted in a quarterback, and the qualities, and by qualities I mean characteristics. He wasn't fast enough, didn't have enough strength on his arm. This is kind of stuff that today looks stupid. And because of his behavior, the way he became a leader, not just because of his position, but simply because of what he wanted to accomplish, he also became the greatest name in football. And it's really impressive. The same thing I noticed while watching the 10-episode series on Netflix, The Last Dance. Michael Jordan and the 6 times champion team, the Chicago Bulls. MJ was amazing since always, but he wasn't satisfied on being great by himself. He made his teammates the best they could be. Now let me say one personal thing. Back in 2002, I was in 7th grade, and for no apparent reason, I started following a TV series called ER. This TV series is set in Chicago, was set in Chicago inside of an emergency room. I love it. I love everything about that show. And then the idea of being a doctor, an emergency doctor, just started echoing inside my heart and also inside of my head because it's a decision I have to think about. I was 13 years old. I told my parents that that was what I wanted to do. And they were happy, but just the normal amount, because it's not because a 13-year-old says he wants to do something that she will end up doing it. But friends of our family who were doctors encouraged me a lot, to study, do great at school, and then things would happen at the proper time. Years went by, high school, junior, senior, time to go into university. The way things work in Brazil is that medical school is just like any other school. So you start as soon as you finish high school. Well, to sum up, I tried and I failed. I didn't intend to, but I also gave up. My parents couldn't afford me without a job for another year. So I had to start working, and then things just went south. I ended up studying another thing in the university. And just in 2015, I decided that a dream, especially a big dream like the one I have since I was a teenager, is something that cannot be thrown away, So last year, my wife and I were on the verge of moving from Brazil to Canada when going to university to become a physician got back officially to the plans. Going to school as an adult, a married 32-year-old man, is something difficult. Mount Royal University gave me the opportunity to start as a pre-med, and the Canadian government, with the decision of allowing all students to continue their education online, it was essential. It was essential. With all that being said, I appreciate these public people who accomplish amazing and great things, even more when they preach so much about mindset and how the hard work and training surpasses the talent in so many ways. And that's the message I'd like to share with you. We can do great things, amazing things in the places we are inserted. As a student, I decided to carry this idea that I can accomplish greater things, and it's not a matter of how others see or what they believe, but it is in what my mind is set to produce and achieve. And on next week's episode, I will have a great conversation about this with a friend who lives very far from Brazil, or Canada for that matter. He and I will talk about plans, achievements, disbeliefs, and so much more. We will also talk about his life there. And here's just a hint of where he lives. Listen. Okay, that's it. It will be fun, okay? But as for today, I hope you got the message. And I hope that you understand that you are capable of great things yourself. You just need to set your mind to it and engage seriously. Commit 100% to get the results you are aiming for. And that's it. I hope you have a great week, everyone. Enjoy life. Enjoy your possibilities. And, just keep doing whatever it is that you're doing to keep moving forward. That's what's important. And I hope you have a great week, as I said before. A great day. And hopefully you'll be here for the next week's episode. And that's it. Bye.